common question we get when we're doing estate planning or Medicaid planning for one of our clients and they don't have a durable power of attorney, or they don't have a good enough durable power of attorney, because they're not all created equally and they're not all, they don't always give everybody the power that we need them to have, is the question is, am I giving up my rights? In other words, my client who's signing a power of attorney, they're concerned that they're signing over their ability to make decisions to somebody else. And the question is, am I losing something when I do that? Am I losing the ability to make decisions for myself? And I think where that question stems from is sometimes it confuses people. Sometimes people are confused between signing a power of attorney, because it does sound like a very strong document, and it is, with a guardianship. And I want to talk about the differences because it'll answer the question. The question is, again, do I give up my rights when I sign a durable power of attorney? And the answer is no. When you sign a durable power of attorney, you are still in charge. In other words, you still have the right to go to the bank, you still pay your bills, you have the right to do everything you did before. You sign contracts, all that good stuff. Everyone will deal with you. No one is particularly interested in dealing with the agent under a power of attorney as long as you have your mind. However, what you're doing is you are delegating immediately the right for somebody else, whoever you name in that very important document, to make decisions for you. And the third parties don't differentiate between whether or not you have the ability to make those decisions or not. If they receive this durable power of attorney, they will assume they have the right to deal with that third party. Now, again, that doesn't mean your rights have been removed. That means you have essentially hired an assistant. Usually it's a child who's not charging you a fee, but you have an assistant who can go to the bank and pay your bills, who can sign contracts for you, who can deal with your real estate, who can help you protect your assets and qualify for needs-based government benefits. That's why we call ours a Medicaid compliant durable power of attorney, because it's different from what a lot of the documents we see out there. But the idea behind a power of attorney is we want to sign one while we have our mind, while we can empower someone that we trust to make these decisions for us should we need it, but we have to be careful that we're not inviting the wrong person, because a power of attorney in the wrong hands can be dangerous. Now, that's not to say that it's a carte blanche. In other words, the person you name as your power of attorney has a fiduciary obligation to only do what's in your best interest and to carry out your wishes. And if they don't do that, there are civil and criminal penalties for doing so. However, in the wrong hands, we don't want to be chasing we don't want to be getting the police involved, right? So we only give this document to someone we trust. But the idea is, if you have a good relationship, if you know this person's going to do right by you and really only going to do things that are in your best interest, the power of attorney is a very empowering document for you, because you get to choose who, as you age, or God forbid something happens, there's some sudden health crisis, you get to decide who gets to step in and do things for you if you cannot do for yourself. Because if you don't do that while you have your mind, now we go to what's called a guardianship, right? And this happens on occasion. People come to us with no power of attorney or an insufficient power of attorney, and we go, okay, it's typically mom or dad who now needs help paying for a care at home or care in a facility, and their assets are wasting away, and what can we do to protect their assets and get them eligible for Medicaid? And if they don't have a strong enough power of attorney, and they've completely lost their ability to make decisions for themselves, and they completely have lost their ability to understand what's going on around them, now signing a power of attorney at that point in time is impossible. And so at that point in time, if that happens, which is a sad turn of events, we have to go through the guardianship process, where essentially you're going to a judge and you're saying, Your Honor, dad or mom does not have the ability to make decisions for him or herself, and I need you, Your Honor, to appoint me, daughter, son, whoever the trusted individual is, to be able to make these decisions. And now the judge agrees or disagrees, or family fights over who should be the one making decisions, and it can cause unnecessary, at the very least, unnecessary expense, unnecessary delays in getting things done. And then once you're in guardianship, you're sort of in it for the rest of your life, typically, not always, but there's yearly reporting. This person has to account to the judge for what they've done. Again, not inherently evil. If we don't have anyone we truly trust, maybe you want that judicial oversight, but I think that most people, if they had their choice, if they kind of knew in advance, they would say, I'd prefer to choose as opposed to a man or woman wearing a black robe. deciding for me, who gets to make decisions for me. So that's the idea between a power of attorney. You completely retain your ability to make decisions for yourself. However, you appointing someone else. So the goal is, as you do lose your faculties, as you do require more assistance, you have someone waiting in the wings to start doing for you, maybe just a few things at first, and then at some point in time, you have this person probably managing your entire life if you need total help. So that's the power of attorney. Think of it as in the right hands, it's an incredibly empowering, money-saving, time-saving option compared to having to go through the guardianship process. Hope this answers the question. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, please help me get good information to Floridians everywhere. If you are anywhere in the state of Florida, you want to talk more about estate planning, incapacity planning, Medicaid planning, or probate, please give us a call. Thank you very much.